Welcome to Ask Hypnotica 54. Today, we are going to talk about an important issue that is affecting men around the world. It's all about the emasculation of men. It's the snip of manhood. So, I'm going to read this letter because this is where this all came from. All right. Hello, Hypnotica. I hope you get to answer my question. I'm worried about the future of man. Everywhere I look, I see men being emasculated. I've read reports that men are losing a lot of testosterone and are turning more feminine. Can you talk a little bit about this? Thank you for all you do for men. It's nice to see masculine men speaking so freely about man stuff. You've been a guiding light for many. Mike from San Francisco. Well, Mike from San Francisco, it's kind of weird you're calling from there because that's more of a feminine city. Anyways, it's filled with liberals and things like that up there. All kinds of stuff. But hey, more power to you, whatever you want, okay? Maybe you're the white light in the sea of glitter out there. Let's talk a little bit about this, okay? Because there's a few things. Let me just make sure I get to this thing, okay? Let's just start out with the narrative that is being played out among the media and the masses and, being put out there. Listen, men are in a very strange place these days, okay? But I want you to remember one thing about emasculation. There is a certain narrative being played. It's a lot from what's going on at the left, and they're trying to really take down men a little bit to stop being men or to start acting like men. You be put in place, okay? Men should be put in place because we're in a society these days that is far too much more sophisticated than it used to be, which is a bunch of bullshit because like a fun, crazy, and I don't mean fun and crazy like crazy like it's out of control, like chaotic, but men are men, bottom line. All right, when you start taking away things that make men men, all right, when you start putting all these safeties and rules and structures on men, okay, they don't like it because men are pretty much like wild animals, all right, for the most part. And when you start like breaking a man down and start putting him in a box and saying he's got to act this way, it doesn't work too well with men. Now, there's a lot of men that actually go with this, okay, because there's a lot of different reasons for it. And one of them is because, hey, a lot of men have screwed up. A lot of men haven't stepped up and taken responsibility, so they've left a lot of men to be raised by women. So when you're modeling someone who's important in your life and all you have is women role models, okay, that is a big aspect of it. And that's why more men need to come up and start being role models or mentors and things like this, because it shows that there are men out there that are very masculine. So the narrative is, the emasculation of men. Men are no longer men. Complete bullshit, all right? And let me tell you why. Because we're now in a time where men, like I have a news group and I have a mastermind group of thousands of men, all right? Thousands of men listen to my stuff. And my stuff is not flippy, floppy, foo-foo-y, glittery kind of stuff. It's about being raw, masculine, wild to the most part. And there's a lot of other teachers out there that are helping men on this level. There's a lot of really good stuff going on with MMA. There's a lot of physical stuff. So if you're like comparing, we may have a lot of emasculated men, all right, and they're following these trends and following the narrative of what the media is trying to put into the heads of them, but there's a different type of breed of men that's brewing, all right, and it's been brewing for a while, and this is like a renaissance man, because men, especially the men that are in my group, okay, Hypnotica the Master Circle is a great one, and there's a lot of other good coaches that are teaching stuff. The thing is, on one level, you have all these emasculated men not willing to really step up or been put in a box, okay? But a man's a man. He's got that spirit with him. He could break out of that. He could join groups. He can go do things that are physical that bring up that raw masculine energy as far as that goes. And so on one level, there's a lot of emasculation, and that's what we all want to talk about. But there's another group of men that are like supermen, okay? These are like the Renaissance men. We're the ones that are studying. We're the ones that are learning about ourselves. And where we're at now, as far as young kids growing up, when I was growing up, I didn't have that. There wasn't anything. That's why we call about the mythopoetic movement. And like Robert Bly and Iron John, the books like that, okay, that was the start of it. We got to take over and we're pushing strong. So think about this. Real men, and that I'm talking very figuratively on this. Real men, okay, are like the movie 300. Remember that? When it was like 300 of them, it may be a movie, but you know what? Hey, I liked it. It made sense to me. I understand this. One man who has his shit together, to me, is equal or value of 10 men that haven't stepped up into their raw power. All right. So on one level, we are brewing this underground of men that are strong, that are capable, that are intellectual, that think, that are physical, that use their mind, okay? And they're starting at a younger age. They're educating themselves younger. You may not hear about it yet, but it's brewing, okay? And this army of ultra-masculine, assertive, integrity-based, value-based men are coming up. You just don't read about them yet, but they're there. So when that time comes, just think, these are the men that are going to be leading the way. And another thing about reproduction, you don't see a lot of the emasculated males reproducing too much, all right? But these Ultramen, like the men that I know that are MMA guys or bouncers or musicians or guys that step into their form and do what they want, and they're breaking the rules because men hate rules for the most part. But there's an ethical side to that. These are the men that women go after. And they go after them because they're not tamed. And women, I hate to say it, but sometimes women like to tame men, all right? They like to get them put in their place. And a lot of us guys that are like that ain't having it, okay? Trust me, it's been a long time. A lot of little boxes around here that I've like stepped out of and broke out of and things like this over my course of time. And I know a lot of the other guys too. So having education and knowing what a man is and man's value base, like, you know, think about this. Like, look at the movies, all right? You got these movies where men are either like stupid or they're childish or they're horny. Now, I get the horny part. I understand that part, okay? That movie makes sense to me. But they're basically saying, hey, look at all these men. Like, they're childish. They're goofy, all right? They're dumb, all right? Those aren't the movies you should really watch, all right? Like me, when I watch movies, okay, I watch good movies, you know, okay? And here's another part. Let's see some of the movies, okay, that more masculine movies, like men that stand up, that do things, that get things accomplished, that are inspiring, that step and believe and say what they want and do these kind of things. Those are the movies that I prefer. I wonder where the other movies are, okay, where men are like pushing around carts and the woman's yelling at them, or they're telling them you should be like this, okay? I don't relate to that type of guy at all right? So when they get around me, I tend to like get away from them because I don't want that shit rubbing off of me at all right? And maybe vice versa. Maybe they don't like being around me. But the main thing is like there's a transformation of men going on. So you have your emasculated men, but you have your transformational men that are building. And they're building an army, and this army's good because they're talking, and they're on groups, and they're understanding. And these are going to be the leaders, and those are the ones that want to follow. And those are the ones that are going to reproduce because women don't like guys that are easily like put in a box and are like little puppets, okay, little doggies, like little poodles being around, all right, like little penis poodles. They're like, you're a little bit penis poodle. Here you go, all right. Now you can't go pee over there. Go pee over there, okay. I make it a point to pee anywhere I want, okay. I can't tell me how many times that I've peed in parking lots, that I peed in trees. I go outside today and I still pee. I pee in my sink. I have a man cave and there's a sink in here. I pee in there. I pee outside. I pee wherever I want to pee. Okay, because I'm free to do that. I haven't got caught yet, but I'll pee anywhere. I don't give a shit. All right, but that's like that raw masculine form of a man doing what he wants to do. And another thing is that really kind of breaks down men a little bit is jobs. And if you think about it, okay, a man in his DNA is pretty much built to provide. That's really where a lot of our heritage and our history comes from. And when a man can't provide and there's jobless places that a man doesn't feel like he's building or fitting into society or contributing, okay, that's a problem. It's a big problem, okay, because he feels basically useless or worthless and he's not contributing. And that's one of the reasons, if you look at the statistics, men from 1999 to 2014, men from the age of 45 to 65, the rate has gone up 43% for male suicide. That's insane. Okay, so we need to look at that there. But men that are really like, they got their shit together and they understand they have a good solid foundation of who they are and they're able to do things that are productive and give back to the community and they have a sense of purpose there, okay? That's like a true masculine man. The other ones, they want to blame and they want to just do all this weak ass shit. There's no satisfaction in that as far as that goes. And here's another thing. If you talk about the warm emasculation of men, this is how deep it goes. Now, I've run strip clubs for 23 years. And when I first started, there was like 8 alcohol clubs and I think a bunch of other little clubs that are in the area. And now in San Diego, which is ridiculous because we're the 7th largest economy basically in the nation, we're down to 2 alcohol clubs and a few other little nude clubs that are there because they're coming after us. Matter of fact, we just sued the shit out of San Diego because they went in there and they're harassing us and they're trying to put us in a box saying, hey, you know what? Men can't be men. They're not allowed to be men. All right, think about this. And the funny thing is all these women have all these ideas about strippers and how men are just pigs. But the funny thing is the people that really make off in the strip club are the women. Okay, they're making lots of money for a couple minutes. All right, so when you look at who the victim is, like listen, these women on the outside who say strip clubs are this. Okay, I have thousands, hundreds of thousands of more interactions with women than probably these women do, because these women that want to like put strip clubs down and stuff like this, they won't even go in them. They don't even know. They're just complete ignorant. They're going off of this: men shouldn't want what men want, and men should be punished for being sexual. But I talk to the girls, all right, and the girls know they got a good thing going. So if you're talking about who's the victim here, it's usually the guy that leaves with an empty wallet. So let's put that into perspective a little bit, because not too many people on this earth, matter of fact, there's probably 1%, not even half a 0.000% that know the same things that I do about women in strip clubs and the true nature of the strip club. Okay, these have been around for a long time. These women do pretty damn good. Every girl that I walk out is driving a fucking Mercedes, all right, and the guys that are walking out of there are usually walking out with 2 empty pockets hanging out, so it looks like dog ears. Okay, basically, okay, it's a good trade. It's a good commodity. It's a good business. Men get what they want to a degree, and women definitely get what they want to a degree. Now, another thing that women don't even bring up are these people about, oh, we're all victims and shit like this. Let me tell you a couple more things about the strip club that you may not understand. You know that we're like the front line to like human trafficking. Okay, when we see stuff, okay, we report it. So we're like the front line. We see shit that's happening. We get that shit handled. Okay, so on one level, we're looking out for kind of the bad stuff. And the other thing is this that I want you to think about. 33% of our clients are women. So, by the logic of the left or the feminists and stuff like this, are they chauvinistic pigs too? Women that come in to watch women? Women that come in to get dances from women? What are they? How do you label them? I'm just curious, like, how do you label them? How are you going to explain that women love to watch women dance and women love to get dances from sensual women? That's just something, that's one to think about. Things that make you go, And here's another thing I want you to think about. Guys go out into the military, and military guys love to come into the place because having a nice sense of feminine energy around them is nice. All right, they go out, they fucking blow people's heads off, and they're seeing their friends die, and they can't get a lap dance without being questioned or having vice come down hard on us. That doesn't make sense, okay? And here's another thing. A lot of these clubs are getting shut down, but this is a source where a lot of men find some kind of like female companionship or affection. All right, on some level, okay, even if they have to pay for it, it turn into a commodity. It is what it is. But these are men, because look at an average guy who's, say, 45, just got a divorce. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's been married for a super long time. He craves maybe some company. He craves a conversation. And so a lot of people think strip clubs are all grind. Hey, man, I know a lot of strip clubs saved a lot of men's life because they can go in there, they can be around a woman, you know, they can get a lap dance, they can feel the beautiful sensual energy of the feminine force coming out on them, and that's an issue. So when they start shutting down strip clubs, where are these men going to go? Because women, you know this out there, and a lot of guys, you've seen this. Okay, we'll say a 45-year-old man goes to the nightclub. Okay, he's called a creeper. Okay, and there's a creeper here. They're making you feel bad for wanting what you want. Okay, or they say, oh, you're learning about seduction or you're learning about dating. You must be a manipulator. No, we're educated men that want to better our skills and to become better men. So these are other reasons. So when you think about the strip club and they're taking that away, what are these men going to do? Okay, what are they going to do for affection? What are they going to do for love? What are they going to do for just having that sensual energy around them when you take that away? Where are they going to get this? This is one of the reasons why the suicide rate's so high, and I'm going to correlate it directly with men not being able to be around women without getting shamed or blamed or saying, oh, you're a creeper or things like this, okay? Because women can be pretty harsh when it comes to this, all right? So I want you to think about this, but I also want you to think that, you know, men, like growing up, the participation awards, or put it this way. Now, this is not politically correct, but when I was growing up, this is what we did at recess. We had a game, okay? And I love the gay community, but this is the name of the game back then. So it's a different type of mindset back then. It was called Smear the Queer. And basically what it was, we had a group of guys, and we had one little rubber ball like this. We'd kick it or throw it up in the air, and whoever caught it would run around, and everyone would just tackle the shit out of them. And I used to love getting the ball. It was great. Everyone used to kind of love getting the ball, but we were physical. We were chasing it down. We were like hungry for it. We were learning that raw kind of assertion and aggression, which is good when channeled properly. But we'd play this all day long. We'd come back, we'd be all dirty and shit. Now, if you did that in school, first of all, it wouldn't we would never be able to call smear the queer. Bottom line is this, like, things have changed. People are wearing helmets, which helmet, it's a good thing, but man, like the rawness out of like doing dumbass things as a kid, like that's how men learn. And this is why it's important for men to realize, like, hey, like, where's your little wild side? Bring your wild side back out a little bit. That's what's attractive to women, because being a little putty poodle where you're just like penis poodle, where you're just like being walked around and you're afraid to do things, like one of the reasons I did my experiments, like if you read my book Meta Whore, I did a lot of experiments like this. Like I would do things to basically go against where the culture was at. You know, I'd run naked in the mountains. I would go do mescaline and howl at the moon. You know, the wild things that let us go, rah, this is we're man. But basically the thing to really take is you. Okay? Like what they're putting in their narrative, those are other men. If you're a man listening to this, remind yourself, what kind of man do you want to be? You want to be a emasculated little man? And I'll tell you, a lot of these stats come from this, all right? So don't buy into the bullshit about what's really going on. For a lot of the men, when they talk about the testosterone's dropping, okay, it's dropping a lot because it's the men that are smoking, that are drinking, and that are obese. So their testosterone's dropping. Now, it could also be the xenoestrogens in plastics and things like this, because the way the body looks at things, it has like the plasticizers from like a plastic water bottle that, you know, it's been heated up and it's leaching into your water. You drink it, your body looks at it, and it mimics estrogen. So that could be a little part of it. But when you're eating a good diet and you're drinking your own water and you're taking control of who you are and you're taking charge of what your life is about, you're going to be raw. And you got to put yourself in those situations. You know, get physical working out, physical doing martial arts, something to that form, because, you know, we're raw. Go out and garden, hell, go lift rocks, whatever it is. Go build things, you know, use your hands. That's what men are really about, okay? And another thing is, look where we've come, because we are transforming into a much more conscious male. Like when I was growing up, okay, our role models were like Goodfellas, Scarface, you know, all these, you know, shoot 'em up, bang guys and stuff like this. And if you look at it, that's kind of like the machivo tough guy thing. All right, we're evolving a lot around that and away from that, which is good, because, you know, for example, like you had to have a pit bull and you had to have a big truck, and yeah, you're masculine, okay? It's one of the reasons why I do things a little differently. I have a Prius, I have a Yorkie Poo, I have a Maltese, okay, I garden. Because I'm going to say, you'll never define me. You'll never define man, okay? Because man is an incredible being that's been here since the beginning of time, protecting, doing things that men do. And hey, there's a lot of foo-foo people out there, and they're going to try to put you down. But you know what? Give them a good old fuck you. It's okay. It's okay to say that. I know it's not politically correct, but, you know, get the fuck out of my way. I'm going to do what I do, because men are unstoppable when they put their minds to something. Okay, you'll have a lot of haters. You'll have a lot of people saying things like, you're just a pig, you're a man pig, or you're misogynistic. These are all people from usually the left trying to label people, okay? It's usually more of a projection on their part. And these are people that just aren't happy, okay? But many of the men that I know that are value-driven, have their integrity, that have their work ethic down, which is a big one. You know, your work ethic is huge. Your behaviors and your just overall assertion. You're assertive of going out and getting what you claiming your manhood is one of the most powerful things that there are. Super attractive, and women will always be attracted to that. I want you to remember one thing. Masculinity will never go out of style, ever. Masculine men are here to stay, okay? Women who want to control, women who want a little penis poodle running around, they're going to find those effeminate guys, okay? And you know what? I've seen, trust me, 23 years in strip clubs, I've seen men get eaten up. And you know what? The women always cheat on them. The women are never happy. And the man's are usually never happy, okay? He's happy just being able to be around a woman who treats him like shit. Don't understand that at all. So when we're talking about emasculation, just remember, they're talking about other guys. They're not talking about you. You're making your stand now. You're educating yourself. You're being better. You're being stronger. You're a worldly man, okay? Stick to your guns. Stick to what's important. And get shit done. So with that, this is Hypnotica 54. If you were hanging out with pussies, don't do that no more. You're a man.